Welcome to Leading Edge 120. You're with Greg Moran and Maureen Metcalf. So Greg, this week, the Wall Street Journal had an op-ed about why woke capitalism works for Ben & Jerry's and not Bud Light. First, what's the reason? And second, why do we care?
Yeah, so I thought it was actually great that the Wall Street Journal took a little time to unpack that, because I think the mainstream media has tried to cast this as a social issue debate, and it's really not that. This is a fundamental sort of business principle, and that is that you have to stay true to your brand. And Ben & Jerry's is a great example of a company that has been woke from day one. And that's always been their brand promise. And if you buy Ben & Jerry's, you're signing up for that. And they've been very consistent with that. And Bud Light had an implied, if not a specific, brand promise with their base of customers that the Dylan Mulvaney event really felt like a change in that brand promise to their core customer base. And so I think what the Wall Street Journal was trying to point out is, the Bud Light team made a bad business decision. They didn't make a bad social decision, right? And at the end of the day, they've paid pretty heavily for that. And so I think the underlying principle for the rest of us is be clear about your brand promise and approach changing it with a lot of fear and trembling. It's not that a brand promise can't evolve. It's that you've got to do that very thoughtfully and in communication with your customers if you're going to make a change like that. So that's the underlying thing we can learn as leaders. It has nothing to do with the actual specifics of this case.
Well, and that's so relevant right now where our employees in many cases are asking us to step in and comment on political situations.